It's that time of year again where the cozy feeling starts to sink in and the leaves on the trees start to change colors. I've recently fallen in love with journaling and I wanted to share it with you guys. While embracing this new fancy journal from Archer & Olive, I absolutely love the color scheme. It has a hobbity green. You know, this is my first Archer & Olive journal, and compared to other journals I've had in the past from like my craft store that I've gotten, I gotta say these are very high quality journals and I'm really quite impressed. So I wanted to start off this new journal with something that I absolutely love, and that is the season of autumn. I love the gold inlay that they have on the opening page, but we're going to skip the opening page because it intimidates me. So as you can see, we have 9 months at a glance. Might be wondering, Oracle, why 9 months? Well, it's just what's going to be able to fit in this journal. The last journal I ordered on Amazon. It was super cute. Same amount of pages. I think it's 160 pages. And I was able to fit in quite a bit with that journal. Here I'm just going to be coloring in some of the font and just really bring it all together with the medieval fall vibes I've been feeling lately. Now, if you're one of those people who are more of a mood journaler, I totally get you 100%. Around this time of year, I honestly start playing a lot of medieval feel-good games. A lot of those are Skyrim and Witcher. I got these weird little stamps from Michael's. They're super cute, but they're kind of flimsy and interesting. Originally, I wanted to use the little leafy design, but I decided to go with the more, grandeur design. You'll see here in a minute. But here on the left side, I'm making an index column. I don't know how much I'll be using this as far as reference goes, because once I write something down, I remember it. If anything, I'm just going to make it look super pretty and have it be just that welcome home vibe. A lot of these items, I don't really know where I got them, because I used to live in the mountains where there wasn't any Wi-Fi at the time, and all I had was my imagination, crafts, and PlayStation 1. So you really learn how to get creative when you're stuck up in the mountains during snow season. So here I just wanted to make everything super pretty with a lot of these items I've had for years. So apologies if you're curious on some of them. I've had them for more than a decade, so apologies on that. Oh, and by the way, my little TB thing decided to run out of tape. So we're going with the old classic glue stick this time. This washi tape is actually super cute. I forgot how translucent it is though at the bottom. So I'm going to try and fix that. But I just really enjoyed that dried herby look. I actually got it at my local Daiso. For those of you who are unfamiliar with that, Daiso is like a Japanese dollar store. And you'd be really surprised at what you can find. These Posca acrylic paint markers are actually really cool. When I got them, I was like, ooh, these are ugly, but wait till you see what they can do. Decided to go for the bronze and the copper look. Now, you have to shake them so much, but once you do, they're so pretty, I'm telling you. They are not aesthetically pleasing like Instagram pens that you see from like Archer & Olive and all these really fancy shops. But let me tell you, they do the job just as well. So I decided to try and make it look a little more organic and not so stark white. And then try and make it a little more, medieval, apothecary. I guess you could call it witchy vibe. Oh, and apologies, you're going to be seeing my noggin pop in and out because I got really into it and I forgot that the top of my head would probably show, so apologies for that. Here I'm just really tying everything in together with the copper washi tape. I also got this from this roll that I was able to find at Michael's. I will say, for as beautiful as they are, as far as stickiness goes, they are about a 4 out of 10. As you can see for the for the next page, I've already gone ahead and prepped that as well. Now, I was able to use my Cricut for a lot of these things, which, you know, the Cricut machine, it's really come a long way since the dark ages. And I noticed that since the dark ages, I haven't really been gravitating towards using my Cricut, but I'm really trying to use it now and just try something different. I just decided to see what they had, and I figured, you know what? I'm gonna have the Cricut draw out this little calendar because look at how pretty that is. It's just so aesthetically pleasing so far. Speaking of Cricut, I decided to see what images it had that it could draw out. You'll see more of those little drawings. Something about the line art for those, it really spoke to me, and it really felt medieval and like magical. I just absolutely love those two vibes together. Now here I'm officially outlining the index box, which, like I said, probably won't be referring to much, but if I do, I can look back and be like, ooh, pretty. Because who doesn't love a pretty journal? Again, with a lot of these pens, they're from my Cricut machine, like little bundle thingy, and they work really well, even if you just want to like color in with them and everything. So with these little stamps I'd mentioned earlier, they're really flimsy and like, I don't know. I wasn't really sure how to use it, so in the words of Shia LaBeouf, just do it! You don't know till you try. So I just went all out with this. I was just like, you know what? If it's not perfect, I don't care. A lot of the things in this world aren't perfect except for me. At my local Michael's store, I was able to find this little family tree sticker thing in the clearance section. Let me tell you, I made out like a bandit. But I will say these stickers are so cute. I just had to include them. I also found these larger stamps. I've never used letter stamps before. I just wanted to try it with my shiny acrylic paint markers because, oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So here we're finishing up the index box. I don't really know what I'm going to be writing yet, but I'm going to have it ready for when October comes. Again, here's this little line art potion bottle that I was able to find on the Cricut Space or whatever it is, the little editing software you can find things that people have made. Super cute. And overall, just trying to make it look aesthetically pleasing, where it's not too heavy on top and not too heavy on the bottom. Around this time of year, I really enjoy playing video games like Skyrim. Currently, I'm playing Witcher on my live streams on Twitch. If you're curious, you can find me over on Twitch at NierOracle. Right now, we've been playing some Genshin and a lot of the very first Witcher game ever. And here I'm using the Tombow brush pen in light gray. We have these beautiful little foil stickers I was able to print out from my Cricut as well. They are so dainty and gorgeous. But let me tell you, they are a bit of a pain to peel off when you're trying to initially get them off of the giant sheet you have because they're so delicate, but honestly, so worth it. And that we have the full index and 9 months at a glance finished. Now we're gonna go over to the October through June cash flow summary. As you can see, I already have this set up as well. And now we're just gonna decorate it. Oh, Dungeons and Dragons. I recently went over to my Spirit Halloween store. It's a costume store here in the United States. And randomly, I found this Dungeons and Dragons journal, which was perfect because I needed some lines, disheveled looking paper, and also a journal to write all of my nerdy notes in. Also, at the same craft store, shout out to Michael's discount section, they had this Cricut cutter. I'm just cutting up these pages a little bit. You're not really missing anything, but I got it for $8. What a great steal. Also tearing up the edges, that way it just looks a little more organic because I don't want anything to be perfect in this journal. I mean, nothing's perfect in this world. I just wanted it to look a little more medieval parchment kind of look. So we're just going in and gluing that in. This was honestly the perfect find because I was trying to think of a way how I can line some of these pages or even this background here and having it look just as nice, but I'm not that talented. I'm going back in with the copper and bronzy type washi tapes from prior. And this Archer and Olive washi tape, it is super nice. I feel like I'm being spoiled with this. Their washi tapes are sticky, but not too sticky. And also the quality, it feels so smooth on top, but it's also a paper-based tape and it's super easy to tear. Now, I didn't like the timestamps, so I just tore those off because we're going with all of the gold little filigrees and such. And I'm just going to be framing the entire layout here for my cash flow summary. This particular page is going to be comparing all of the 9 months of my spending in total. So for however much I've spent in October, I can compare it to how much I've spent in June of next year to see if I'm spending too much on craft items or if I'm actually doing okay and not overspending. This just gives me a better idea of how my spending habits are and have been. And quite frankly, I think it's really good to have, especially when Christmas is coming up, as I do tend to overspend, even though I think this year I'm going to be making more handmade gifts. So that is it for the cash flow summary page. Now we're moving on to the October spread with the October at a glance. So for this spread, I did have a bit of a difficult time. I went with a mini Dutch door. I didn't want to waste an entire page or like a giant part of this section. So I just wanted to do just a little something. We're taking baby steps here. I'm really happy with my decision because I've seen some of the most beautiful Dutch door layouts. And shout out to Erin. She is one of the most talented girls I've seen here on YouTube, and she just does wonderful work. I do want to apologize for the graininess. I'm not really sure why it's so blurry, but do know in the future that is going to be something I will be addressing. So it will be of much better quality if you guys enjoy this content. If you really enjoy these kind of videos with journaling and everything and arts and crafts, let me know down in the comments below. This is my very first attempt at trying to do something a little bit different because a lot of my content, which I absolutely love, is video game content. But recently I've been feeling really crafty, and I just wanted to do something different. So let me know what you think. So I really enjoyed using those acrylic metallic markers. Look at how beautiful that is. And now I'm going to go in and do something a little different. I've been reading a lot more, also been inspired by a lot of YouTuber journal peeps, I guess you could say. And I've always wanted to read just a bunch of different books the older I've gotten. So I decided to do a favorite quotes page on the October spread, and I'm really curious to see what it's going to be because you just never know. You never know what quote is really going to inspire you. For example, I just read all of the Harry Potter books for the very first time ever, and I gotta say the third book, Prisoner of Azkaban, is my favorite. I felt like it really hit home. I thought it was just the best story out of all of the 7 books, and boy, that was an arduous journey with the Harry Potter series, but I'm glad I did it. So here is the October spread with the favorite quote and the month at a glance. This is going to be my cash flow tracker for October. A lot of my friends and family always say, well, you could just look up your spending on your apps, your banking apps, see what you've spent, all that good stuff. While this is true, and there are other platforms that you can keep track of your finances, I always find that I remember things a lot better when I actually write them down. As great as technology is, something about going back to the good old days and writing everything down, it helps me remember what I've done and I don't know, I just like it, okay? So I wanted to make sure that that little leafy was peeking out, even though it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it shows up a lot better in real life. So here I decided to try and get fancy with my cursive. It has been a while, don't come at me, but this is my cash flow October list. I list how much income I've made throughout the month, whether it be with my job or with Twitch, and hopefully with YouTube soon. Also, my savings and my spending list. I have living, Twitch, income, groceries, pups, because I have 2 dogs that I love very much, and house bills, things like that. Looking at this really helps me keep my spending in check. Now, with the holidays coming up, I do notice that I do tend to spend a little more, especially with Christmas. Oh my gosh. But I think this year I'm going to try and do more homemade gifts. I really want to try and dip my toes into a couple different projects, but again, that requires more spending, and that's what I'm trying to prevent myself from doing. So hopefully I won't need all of this space to write down all of my spending, but only the future can tell. So here is the last bit. It just gives us the total and the category of what we've spent, and hopefully help me keep track of things. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, I know it's different than anything I've done, let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you're curious about my live streams, you can find me over on Twitch at NierOracle. We always have a great time there playing Witcher and Genshin. And let me know what you think down in the comments below if you'd like to see more videos on journaling and decorating. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I'm NierOracle, and I will see you next time.